All right, hello and welcome back. Not sure if this is our final for real setup, but at least I have my camera back because my house is sort of back in order. Crossing fingers, knocking on wood. This week we are going to be exploring the Searing Gorge with Beryl. It's kind of a fun little zone, but it is a little zone, so this might not be like the longest episode ever, so let's just jump into it. Alright, so as you can see, we are over here at the border of the Badlands. That is the Badlands there behind us, and up ahead of us is the Searing Gorge. Now, what's interesting is if you come in from the Badlands and you run into Searing Gorge, you actually run into one of my very favorite quests. And really, it's the only one that ever sticks in my mind for the Searing Gorge. And that is right here at this Thorium Brotherhood camp. Well, the Thorium Advance. And the quest giver is this big ogre, I think he's an ogre, Lunk. He wants to be a pacifist. He wants to not kill anything, so he makes you do a bunch of different quests without killing anything. And if you've never done the quest line before, I seriously recommend it. It's hilarious. You have to get venom from spiders, you have to get different things from different dark iron dwarves, and you have to do it all without killing any of them. So it's kind of funny. And if you've never done it, I would recommend it. Other than that, there really isn't a lot in the way of like secrets. There did used to be a thing where you couldn't get into Searing Gorge from Dunmorrow without doing a special quest chain that I think is attached to a tent that is still out here in the middle of the desert. And you had to go kill a very special NPC to do the quest chain, but that was removed with the Cataclysm. And I don't remember if this is the campsite where the quest giver used to be, but it was basically a master tanner that would send you off on a quest chain. There's also a little graveyard here. Unfortunately, doesn't look like anybody that you can actually read their tragic demise. None of the graves are actually marked, but this is the tunnel that used to be blocked, and I'm pretty sure if you go to the other end of it, the old quest giver is still there, and he's still trying to talk people out of taking the tunnel into Searing Gorge, but it's no longer a blocked tunnel. So that's kind of cool. Let's go see if he's still there. Like I said, there aren't too many secrets or big things in Searing Gorge, so I'm trying to make this a little bit more interesting. I didn't find too much even when I was kind of poking around on the internet, and I didn't find too much that seems secretive either. No, it looks like... oh, maybe it's... there he is. Is it maybe this one?
Great to meet you.
She says, I don't care to hear it, Beryl. Nope, no way are you going to be let into the Searing Gorge. Impossible, not going to happen. How many times do I have to tell you I can't let you in? Don't you speak common? Are you an orc in disguise? No. If I let you in, then I have to let everybody in. Pretty soon your close friends will want in, then distant relatives, then their friends, and so on and so forth. The last time that happened, well, we won't talk about it. I will not open the gate. And then you can tell her, Pebble Biddy, the gate's open. Ah, so it is then. Carry on. Carry on to your death. But that used to be a quest giver who would not let you in until you had done a bunch of, I think they were fairly difficult quests, culminating in killing a rare spawn that I think actually spawned in Searing Gorge, but don't quote me on that. because I'm probably wrong. It's been a long time since Classic, so... And I have not actually jumped into Classic, mostly because I actually really like all the quality of life changes that have been made. I mean, are there some things that I miss? Yeah, but not enough to actually go back and put myself through the good old days and the good old ways. I am a lazy WoW player. Now, I didn't find anything all that interesting, even up in the mountains, flying around looking. Unfortunately, the Searing Gorge is not exactly too... It's an interesting place. It's just not got a lot that's super, super weird. This is the Grime Slit dig site. If you are into archaeology, you will become very familiar with this, because there is usually an archaeological dig site that'll spawn here. It's one of my favorites because it's kind of small and compact. You also have one of the many outhouses in Azeroth that you can go inside and knock on the door. Must be somebody in there because it didn't let me in. Darn. I'm not sure what it is with World of Warcraft and outhouse quests slash poop quests, but there's a lot of them. There's also this interesting little tent. I'm not sure why it's here, but there is a webbed up human or humanoid and a whole bunch of capturable ash spiders. So if you don't have an ash spider and you are a pet trainer, good spot to get one. And then when I went back here, I also found, if I go up, I think it was back here, and this might be where the culmination of that other quest was. There's a little cave, and in that little cave, well, right now is nothing but a dark iron treasure chest, but let's open it up and see. Oh, I got the Widowmaker. That's actually kind of cool. That was a dagger I didn't already have, so that was worthwhile. But yeah, not a whole heck of a lot. One other interesting thing to note, possibly, let me go up here and see if I see it again. There was a weird little, there it is, almost like altar or some sort of ritual circle. No idea what it's for. There's no marker like that you can read on it, but it's a odd little rune, and those are skulls with candles on top of them. Don't know why that's there. It might be attached to a quest that I just have not done in a very long time. Now, the other big spots in Searing Gorge, and again, forgive me, it's been a long time since I've done this quest chain, but down here you have the Cauldron and the Slag Pit. This is where the Dark Iron Dwarves actually first summoned the Great Lord Ragnaros, who's like a fire elemental, into the world, and you can actually go and fight him in Molten Core, which maybe we'll do, although maybe we won't, because right over here, if you look on the map, is the Black Rock Mountain, which is kind of the home of the Dark Iron Dwarves. And it's a really cool volcano that was actually brought into existence by the summoning of Ragnaros. But it also has like 8 or 9 dungeons and raids now associated with it. And I don't know if I'm up for going through all of those, but there's a lot of really good ones. There's also a few that get me extremely lost. I don't think I can manage to do, I think it's Blackrock Descent without a guide, and by guide I mean another human like guiding me through that knows their way around, because I get lost every time. but they are a lot of fun. So maybe we'll do them, maybe we won't. Alright, right here you have Iron Summit. It is a neutral point. And you also have the, what is it called? The thorium point. And then this is the back entrance into Blackrock Mountain, which is kind of a cool little door. And then over here, we've got another little graveyard. Again, nothing I can read on the plaques, which always makes me kind of sad. And I think, yes, if you are ever, oh, that's an interesting rare. If you are ever doing a, I think it's the, what is the name of that world event? It's the one with the elders in it. I think it's the Lunar Festival. If you're ever doing that, this is where one of the elders that you have to honor will spawn. He is kind of hard to find otherwise, but this is where he will spawn. And also this is Hogzilla, which is interesting. Let's kill Hogzilla and see what Hogzilla has. What kind of loot you got? You don't have anything I can actually use, do you? Oh my goodness, my bags are now very full. I'm gonna have to fix that. Alright, so that was interesting. Hogzilla. I don't think I've ever seen that NPC before. That was cool. Other than that, there really isn't a heck of a lot else that I can say about Searing Gorge. I did have a lot of fun running around in the slag pit, which I do remember there were a lot of cool quests in here, but it's been so long. I know they have a lot to do with Ragnaros and the Dark Iron Dwarves and all of that. And they were actually, like, I found what I think is a Dark Iron Dwarf barracks, which I thought was cool. This is also a really good spot if you are a miner to get mithril. Unfortunately, not thorium. You would think any place called Thorium Point would just be full of thorium, but it didn't seem to be, so I thought that was odd but interesting. But yeah, if you run around, you will see a lot of mithril, and also to keep from being seen, maybe I'll go into stealth mode. But it's an interesting, evidently these are all Dark Iron Dwarves who are using slave labor, not laborer, slave labor as their excavation helpers, basically. I do love how much, like, attention to detail Blizzard gives. I don't think that they would have had to make this big, but they sure did. I think this might be the quest objective here, this stone giant obsidian, but oh, it has been so long. They also have an enslaved archaeologist, or maybe even two. Yep, two enslaved dwarf archaeologists working on whatever's going on with that stone giant. So I just thought this place was really cool. Is there much that you could do with this area if you were, say, a guild or just wanting to explore? I didn't see too much, but you've got a couple little dwarf blacksmiths, and this does seem to be the barracks, although I'm not sure how you get into the top bunk if this is beds, but that is what it looks like, dwarven beds. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, not much else to Searing Gorge. I'm sure I'm probably missing stuff. So if I am, and if you know of anything that maybe I just missed out on, You know, maybe there's some really cool lore bits that I just don't know about Searing Gorge. I will definitely be the first one to admit that I don't spend a lot of time here in Searing Gorge, so maybe that's something I need to remedy in the future. But that is honestly about it for this week. I do know that there are some, like I said, the Lunk quest chain is hilarious, and if you've never done it, I seriously recommend it. It's kind of awesome. But yeah, that's honestly about it. I guess we could run over to Thorium Point, which is another neutral flight zone, so... Or no, it's not. I almost lied. Thorium Point is not a neutral flight zone. It is an Alliance flight zone. So you've got Thorium Point over here, where you can fly in. There's also a pet daily battle that's down there. And you've also got this interesting little Twilight Fire Guards. And I think they are mining some lava from Blackrock Mountain, is what that kind of looks like. But I could be very, very wrong. But yeah, that is honestly about it. I don't know of anything else that's too interesting in the Searing Gorge. So next week we are going to be heading, if we go below Searing Gorge, yep, we're going to be heading to the Burning Steppes, which, like I said, I'm not sure that we're going to do all of the dungeons within Blackrock Mountain. Maybe we will, but I doubt it. Unless you just want to see me, like, pulling my hair out and getting hopelessly lost, which is what always seems to happen to me whenever I go into Blackrock. So, other than that, I don't know a whole heck of a lot. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope, if you know of anything I missed in Searing Gorge, please let me know, because I probably missed a lot. Also, if you've ever done the Lunk quest chain, let me know about it, because that one's hilarious. It's almost as good as the day Deathwing came. In fact, it might even be a little bit better. I don't know. They're both pretty good. But that is about it. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you next week when we go up into the Burning Steppes.